I think it's possible to have a non-woke affirmative action system. The extreme case would be something like Malaysia, where the Malay majority says it's not fair to expect us to compete with these, brilliant Hakas. So we need to have this, affirmative action system for us. So like it is. So that's about as unwoke as you could get. Anyway, but so let's say hypothetically.
I think in practice, though, I think what you find is a lot of the demographic composition of institutions does determine their politics. So if you have a lot of minorities and women especially if they concentrate in certain departments, that end in studies, I think that there's a pretty obvious downstream effect of that on the wider culture of the institution.
I think what I'd say in general about sort of conscious quota policy is that it can be managed well. When you talk about Southeast Asian examples, Singapore, Malaysia, it can be managed well. Also sort of in the post-Balkan states, but it can also go really badly. I think that the regime, the sort of regime ideals of the contemporary progressive left look much more like post-apartheid South Africa or many of the regimes across Latin America, where there is, I think, much more just sort of struggle between ethnic groups. The American solution historically to the reality of living in a multi-ethnic country has been colorblindness and universal citizenship. And we can say that may not work very well. I think Gabriel's probably right that people would be alarmed when the courts ban affirmative action and the next year 90% of admits steal in Harvard or Asian. That would prompt some result. But I think that they would be running up against a very powerful American norm, which is like, we believe in meritocracy regardless of race, creed, or color, and it will be at least.
I mean, have you lived?
I think Americans do believe that. I think the majority of Americans believe that.
Have you seen the recent polls on like abolishing standardized tests, which is, I think, a slight majority is in favor of?
Yeah, but that's because they don't believe the standardized tests.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem.
They're wrong about standardized tests.
They like the subjective standard of merit that everyone should live up to.
Yeah, which in practice means that your parents paid for lacrosse lessons.